Hi, this is my workshop on how to draw animated faces. So, a little bit about me. My name is Shalini Krish, and I'm a senior at Monte Vista High School in Cupertino, California. I have 13 plus years of experience with drawing, and I am mostly self-taught, and I've taught previous workshops with DYC before. So, about DYC, DYC is a nonprofit organization that allows student leaders like me to showcase my talent and teach others across the world on any sort of skill that I have. Like, it could be math, it could be drawing, or it could be anything that you want. If you are interested, please check out our website and this video right here, which tells you more about our organization. And yeah. So here is our community impact and all of the wonderful things that we've done. So here are a few of my works and hopefully some concepts that I get to touch more into my workshops. So in my workshop, we're going to learn how to draw animated faces, and by that I will be teaching how to draw the basic structure of a shape of the faces that you're going to make, and also a few emotions that you can draw. And by the end of the workshop, hopefully you'll be able to draw these animated faces using the techniques that I've taught. And all you need for this workshop is a pencil, eraser, and a sheet of paper. So here are some reference links, just like what I had in the third slide, that'll tell you a bit more about us, and also a few social media plugs that you can follow us on and just keep yourself updated. Thank you. I'll move on to the workshop now. Hi, my name is Shalini Krish, and this is my workshop for drawing animated faces. So basically, all you need is a pencil, a sheet of paper, and a good old eraser if you're prone to making mistakes like me. So let's go through how we draw animated faces. So drawing an animated face is essentially drawing a person, but emphasizing the main aspects of them here. Here is a reference of a woman, for example, right? Now, if I wanted to make her animated, I want to pick out the main features that I see about her and essentially simplify this face to get a nice, neat cartoon character. So the main things that I notice about her are her bob, her eyebrows, her eyes are kind of big, and her nose, as well as her lips. Those are the main things that I want to draw in a animated character. So let's start with that. So the first thing that you want to do when you're drawing this sort of character like this is you want to start off with the head. So as you notice, she had sort of an oval face. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw an oval face. What I like to do is I like to start off with a circle, and that represents the head. And then I like to draw the rest of the face so I know where exactly everything goes. Great, so that's my face, right? It's a little lopsided, but yeah. And don't worry if your face isn't, or like actually any proportion isn't perfectly correct when you draw it. That's why you always want to draw really light at first so that if you make mistakes, it's okay. As long as you erase them, nobody will see. Okay, perfect. So we got a rough sketch of the face. Now, what we want to do is we want to chart out where the eyes, the nose, and the mouth will go. So, looking at her, she seems to have her eyes sort of a third. So I'd probably place her eyes somewhere around here, right? And for the eyes, I want to note them by drawing 2 circles like that, right? They don't have to be exactly even. They're just placeholders for you to draw your figure. Then we see that she has a little nose right here. And to me, that looks like a sort of trapezoidal shaped nose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw two lines like that. And I'm going to draw a trapezoid. Or, you know, you don't have to do exactly a trapezoid. If this looks like a square to you, draw a square. If it looks like a circle to you, draw a circle. It's really up to you. So then what we want to do is we want to draw the lips. So what I like to do is I like to start off with the sides first, right? Find out where the endpoints are. And I like to draw a little U in the middle, which is essentially this mouth part. Then I like to draw a bottom lip, and I like to draw a little upper lip. And yeah, connect the lines like so. And boom, you've got basically an entire face. Now what we want to do, before we start on any details, we want to draw where the hair is going to go. So we'll look at the part first, and then we'll look at what shape it makes and sort of replicate that shape in a very simplistic manner. So what you want to do is you want to draw the side part. She has a side part right about here. So I'm going to draw the side part here. And then I'm going to draw straight edges that have the same shape as your hair. You see that? You see how that sort of, that's basically this curve right here, except it's more simplified because I'll add the details in later. And then she has a side part right here. So that's it. You have the basic structure of the face. And if you want to improve on this, I suggest you you use references like this. You use real people, and you start drawing real people in order to get a feel for which goes where, so that you can do this with way more ease. Alright, so enough about that. Now we're going to draw the details. So in a cartoon character, like I said before, you want to emphasize the parts of the face. So let's say if I wanted to focus on her eyes, right? What I would do is I would draw them relatively big compared to the face, just like as I have now. And I want to sort of accentuate it. So I'm going to erase these circles. These circles were just a placeholder, right? All of this right now is just the structure of the face. So, yeah, all the details I'm going to add are going to go over this, right? So you don't want to erase these structures right away, or you want to do it pretty lightly, at least, so that you still know where to draw. Alright, let's start off with the eyes first. So, for the eyes, I am just going to draw around this circle. See that? See that? Alright, so that is going to be the top lip. And then if you want, you can draw a little eyelid over. Because if the model is like that, then you can do it like that. Or if you just want to do it stylistically, then it's up to you. So, the next thing I want to do is I want to draw the bottom lid. So what I'm going to do actually is looking at the model. She has a bit of a horizontal lid. Oops, glare. She has a bit of like a horizontal lid over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a line straight across. Right, there we go. The next thing I want to do is I want to fill in the eyes. So she's looking straight ahead. And what I like to do with the eyes first is I like to draw a little light circle first. And just sort of see, okay, well, I drew my circles. Is she looking in the direction that I want her to? And if she's looking a little cross-eyed, then I can always erase the circle and move it. Or if I think her eyes are too far apart, then I can always move it. But to me, this actually looks okay. An easier way to do this, if you want, is to draw straight lines across with a ruler to make sure that your eyelid, your pupil, and your lower lid are on the same level. But for now, since this video is pretty short, I'm not going to do that. So I think this is pretty okay, at least for the eyes. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the eyebrows. So she has, the basic shape of this is sort of like a curve. So I'm going to replicate that on my model. And on my model, I'm just going to draw a little curve eyebrow. Just like that. Cool. Okay. I'm just going to do some adjustments. Again, rule number 1, you always want to draw light. Just in case if you weren't happy with the eye shape suddenly midway, just like I did, you'll be able to fix it. And it won't be that big of a deal. Okay, I think I am set. Alright, now we want to move on to the nose. So, the nose, let's erase the structure that we had and then go back to the model. So the model, she had a trapezoidal nose, and she had, the only thing that we're really missing in this are the nostrils. So we want to indicate the nostrils with just 2 little black circles, like that. Put that trapezoid back in. Okay, cool. So, yep, that's how you get the nose. And then for the mouth, we're good. So let's start adding more detail. So this detail is like our eyelashes, blush if you want to, and then filling in the hair and erasing this line. So the first thing that I like to do is I like to erase the rest of the structure. So erase this part of the face because this part is covered by the hair. You're not going to see it. Okay, so now what we want to do is let's focus on the eyes first. So the eyes, what we're missing are eyelashes, and we still need the pupil, right? So what I like to do for people is that, because it's a cartoon character, you're not going to go too much into detail. So what I like to do for the people is I like to put a little U and a little light right here. See that? You'll see here. So U, right? Black U. Okay. And then you want to put a little circle over there. And that's basically just some light coming into the eyes. Oh, you can't see that at all. The purpose of the light is just to add a bit more life to your character. It really does help when you look at it, you know, it just looks more lively, I guess. Alright, now what we want to do is we want to use, or put in the lashes. So the lashes, what I like to do is I just like to put them as vertical lines that go along this lid. So you see? So normally the longest lash is here because that's the end of the eye. And then I like to make little lines that sort of descend into the eyelid. So it goes from longest lash to shortest lash, and replicate it on the other side. You can also do it on the lower lid too, but normally these eyelashes are pretty small, or they're a lot smaller than the top ones, so don't go too heavy on them. And then also I want to add more detail to my eyebrows. So what I can do is I can do short hair strokes that make it a bit more, a bit more realistic. And then, touch up everything. There you go. Cool. Now let's work on the nose. So this is completely optional, but what I like to do in my cartoon characters is I like to add a little shading, just the slightest bit. So normally on your nose bridge over here, it's not at the same level as your eye. This part is just a little bit elevated. So that means that there are going to be some shadows over here. So what I like to do is I like to lightly with my pencil just sort of shade it right here to show that that nose bridge is still present, and that adds way more detail to your drawing. See, look at that. I know it's a little blurry, but you can still see where the nose elevates, right? Okay, cool. I think so far with the face, we're good. So let's work on the hair. So we have the basic shape of the hair right now, right? But if you want to add more detail, what you can do is you see these like edges right here, you see where they corner off? What you can do here is you can draw little strands that go out like that. As a way of just showing that your hair is not one one big block, and just to show some more detail. Also, what you can do here, normally if there's a part, you're going to have smaller hairs here that may dip into the forehead. So you can do a bit of that. And yeah, that's basically it. Looking at that model, I mean, that's my animated version of her. If you can see right here, this is the model, and then you have the animated version. And yeah, that's basically it. So now I'm gonna go over more expressions, and potentially if we have time, different perspectives, so different angles of shape. All right, so let's move a little further down the paper. There we go. Okay, so expressions, especially in a cartoon character, are really hard because they're very animated. The whole point of a cartoon character is to make them animated. Some may even say like exaggerated. But yeah. So what we want to do for, like I said, any cartoon character, you want to draw the circle first, right? You want to draw a shape. So I'm just going to quickly draw oval. I want, let's say in this cartoon character, I actually want to incorporate some ears. By the way, I didn't go over ears, but ears, basically, you could just add it as just like a little rectangle on the sides. It doesn't have to be much, because you can't really see your ears from straight on, so yeah. What some cartoon artists like to do that I think is really funny is they like to accentuate the ears as well. So they draw huge ears, but we're not going to do that right now, so yeah. So let's say I want to make a girl with a ponytail, right? So I'm going to draw the eyes. I'm going to draw the eyes right here. I'm going to draw the nose. She's going to have a little button oval nose. And then she's going to have lips. Right. Okay, so I'm going to fill in all the details. Again, I didn't erase completely. I can still see the shape of everything. Just make sure that you don't erase it completely, otherwise then you're going to be struggling to find the shape. So normally, let's say I want to make her sad. Okay, her emotion is going to be sad. So normally in a sad face, you see the lips curl down. Normally you have like a frown like that. The nose, there isn't really much going on here. And then normally for the eyes, it's going to be very like upturned like that. And you can see the same thing in the eyebrows too. So you see that? It's, yeah, like that. So we want to replicate that in our character. So I like to go from top down, right? So let's start off with the eyes right here. So the eyes are right here, if you guys could see. So normally in a sad person, it's not as, circular as what I showed you before. It's more upturned. So what you want to do is you want to draw one line up. You want to draw one line down like that. You see? It's like a little triangle. And then you want to draw one line up, one line down. So you see these corners right here? They should point roughly towards here. They should point towards one center. Alright. And then the lower lid is going to be one circle. It's going to outline this lower part of the circle. Right? Then I'm going to just even them out a bit so it isn't as crooked as it looks like. Okay, now we're going to draw the eyelid. So your eyelid is basically, it's just going to trace over the circle, right? Your eyeball never changes. It's basically if you close your eyes to some extent, your eyelid is just going to trace over your eyeball like that, right? Your eyeball doesn't decrease or increase in size. Anyways, now let's move on to the eyebrows. So the eyebrows are going to be upturned, right? So what you want to do is you want to sort of follow the shape of your eyes. See that? Okay. You want to follow the shape of your eyes, and then you get that, right? And what you can do is you can either color them in, or you can leave them blank if the person does not have black eyebrows or black hair, right? And you have that, right? Forget your eyelid. Okay, cool. Now you want to draw the nose. The nose is just going to be normal. It's going to be... What I like to do sometimes is, I think I said that she had an ovular nose. So I just draw an oval and just add two little bumps right here. And little C's right here that connect back to the oval. And that's it. That's my nose. That's it. Right? So, now the lips. The lips are going to be downturned. So, you want to draw the corners angled down like that. And your bow is still going to be here, right? That little U that I was talking about earlier for the previous model, it's still going to be there. It just depends on how hard you're frowning. So because this person is very sad, the U is not going to be as big as what it was for that model. Right, then we want our bottom lip, and then our top lip is still going to be a little smaller because our entire mouth is facing up. And yeah, you basically have the structure of a sad animated character. So now I'm just going to fill in the details really quickly. Let's see. Eyes. So add the circles, right? And because some part is going to be concealed by the lid, you're not going to see all of the eye. It's going to look like this, rather than a full circle. And then draw in the pupil. So pupil, and then if you want, you can add little eyelashes right here. The eyelashes here are just going to go straight up. And then eyelashes down here. Okay. Now, also sometimes what happens when you frown a bit like this is that you get these smile lines right here. So if you want, you can draw lines down here. And you can draw 2 lines over here. Normally when you draw lines in a cartoon character, it just shows that they're like very sad, or it's just like emphasizing something that may not necessarily be emphasized. So normally when you add lines on a cartoon character, it's because you want to emphasize a particular thing. So be careful about what lines you're putting. Otherwise then it may be unclear what emotion exactly this character is portraying. So yeah. And then if you want for a sad character, you can put tears. For tears, what they're going to do is they're not going to go straight down in a line. They're going to follow the curvature of the cheek. So they're going to go like this. You see how it's a bit curved? Just like that. So normally what I like to do is I like to put little bubbles up here because your tears start from the bottom of your eyelid. And then I like to either go straight down, or if I want to draw a tear that's like halfway, then I go to that halfway point and then round it off there. There we go. Okay. Sometimes when it's down here, your tear doesn't disappear off the edge. So I like to draw little rounded semicircles here that just show that the tear is still hanging onto your face. And may even travel down your face to your chin. Normally, yeah, the more tears in a cartoon character, the sadder they are. So if you want to really show that your character is sad, then add more tears. Alright. Yeah, that's basically it for a sad character. Okay. So we had sad, we had neutral. Now let's do happy. Move on to angry, and then maybe we can do perspectives. Okay. I also don't have a lot of room on my papers, so I'm gonna do it right here. Alright, let's do happy. So happy, again, you want to draw your circle. You want to just draw your face, right? Okay. And then also, a trick that I didn't talk about in this video, you want to make sure your face is symmetrical. You can draw like a line straight down. And then if this side matches this side, then you should know that it's roughly symmetrical. Normally you want your drawings to be symmetrical, just because if it's asymmetrical, it might look a little strange. And also this line just makes sure that, like, you know, all your proportions are right. Like your ear, the top of your ear matches with the top of this side, and this jaw part matches with this jaw part. It's really useful, even the small stuff like this. All right. There we go. Okay, so eyes, right? Eyes, nose. Okay. Say I want to do a little lip. Okay, so happy. So normally when you're happy, you're normally smiling, right? So you show teeth, right? So this actually is going to change a lot of features on your person, because when you smile, your nose is affected and your eyes are affected too. So you kind of squint a little when you smile and your nose kind of scrunches up. It becomes wider, right? So let's draw that on our person. So actually for smiling, we're going to go bottom up, because normally when you smile, the main focus is going to be on your teeth, right? So you want to make sure that part looks the best. So normally what I like to do for smiles is I like to draw a little trapezoid, right? You see that? That kind of looks like a smile. So these are the corners, and then here you're just going to put your bottom lip. It's just going to be like a little line like that. And what I like to do for the smile is I like to add little lines here to just show your teeth. And if you want, if you're really like adventurous, you can also draw little gums on the side just to make it, just to add a bit more detail. And if you want to show that the smile is really big, add gums. So let's draw it. So the corners of your mouth are going to be way up here, right? Because you're smiling really big. So draw the trapezoid, right? And okay, I don't have enough room for my bottom lip, so I'm just gonna draw the bottom lip. You want to put some space between the bottom lip and your chin. You don't want your chin to be right at your bottom lip. So what I like to do is I like to just eye it, and I like to draw just like basically this distance should be roughly that distance, you know? Right? So your top lip is going to be pretty small because you are smiling a lot. And yeah. So you draw that. And then you go up to your nose. So let's see, my nose was right here. And normally for your nose, when you smile, your nose becomes a little wider. So what I like to do is I like to draw a little diamond shape, so like that. So the nostrils are going to be right here. I'm going to connect back to this inner circle like that. And then sometimes what artists do is that they put little like 4 lines here, which is basically just like a scrunch of the nose, which is what you do sometimes when you smile. So add that. And then the eyes. So the eyes are still up here. Eyes haven't moved. So for the eyes, you just want to draw a half circle, right? So just half a circle, like that. And then it's up to you where you want the person to look. Like if you want the, oh gosh. Okay, now, let's say I want the person to look on the side. What I can do is I can just draw the pupils like that. Boom, easy. Okay, then eyelids, and then eyebrows, they're gonna be pretty high. Normally when you're smiling, your eyebrows are higher. So what I like to do is I just like to put an arc like that. Maybe add some eyelashes. I want to, really up to you. And then add the teeth in. Now, sometimes for a smile, some extra optional details is that you can add little lines right here. And normally, these lines, they curve up and they meet with your cheekbone. So you can do that. This part should be connected with the corner of your lip though, like that. And boom, yeah, there you have it. All right, that's a nice smiling person. All right, now I'm gonna quickly go over angry because I feel like angry and sad are 2 very different things, and that angry takes up a lot of your facial emotions. So we're gonna go over that really quickly. So draw the face, right? Okay, and then nose, eye goes about here, eye goes about here, and then angry. So angry is kind of similar to sad in that you have your mouth's going to be facing down, your nose is not going to be super altered, and your eyes are going to be different. So it's going to be more downward. Think more downward. And so are your eyebrows. Like that. You see that? Okay. So let's replicate that. So yeah, let's start from the eyes first. So normally when someone's angry, their eyelids are very closed. So what I like to do is I like to put 2 lines like that, which are pointing up. Like that. So those are your eyes. Oops. Those are your eyes. And then you want to draw your eyebrows. So your eyebrows are going to be almost close to touching your eyes. Alright, they're going to be right here in the middle. What you want to do is you just want to turn them up really high. Exaggerate them as much as you can if you want to. In fact, the more you exaggerate it, the more the emotion is going to come across. And the more angry the person's going to look. See, look at that. How angry this person is. Right, and then you color it in if you want to. And then normally what's going to happen here is that you're going to have some lines here, which are just like little, like, wrinkles in your face that are just showing that you have a lot of tension right here, right? Because you're furrowing your eyebrows together. And then, normally when you're angry, your eyes aren't going to be super big. Normally when you draw eyes to be really big, that's normally very, like, hopeful or happy. But normally in cartoon characters, smaller eyes can depict anger or even sadness to some extent, right? So then I want to draw the bottom, right? Draw the nose, right? It's going to be the nose. It's going to be a bit of a wider nose. Let's do that. Okay. And then you want to draw the same frown that you did for the sad one. And then add lines if you want to. Right. Then redraw your face a little bit. Add ears if you want. Alright. Normally for angry, you can either have like a sort of solemn look like that, or what people do is they draw teeth. So instead of this frown, it could be, what I like to do is I like to add a little U. You see that? And then normally if the person is like grating their teeth, I like to draw a line across. So this is your teeth, right? And I like to draw gums here to really show that someone is like super angry. This is like super angry, right? So yeah, you can change the teeth, change the eyes to be wider. You can change the eyebrows to be higher. That's if you want to show that someone is very mad, like extremely angry. But then again, completely up to you. So I'm not sure if I'm able to touch on perspectives, but basically this is just the overall version of drawing animated characters and basically a few of the emotions that you can draw. And as far as drawing animated characters go, like a good advice that I have is don't be afraid to exaggerate your character features, because sometimes exaggerating the features, like making the eyes really big or making the eyebrows super steep, really adds a lot of life to your character and gives it a bit of pizzazz that you may not get drawing it, head on. I also say use a reference if you can, just for mapping out proportions and just for like seeing what sort of features are there. And also looking at the styles of like other artists, like Disney artists or Pixar artists, and just seeing what do they do to add emotion to their character. If you don't get this, drawing cartoons is really hard, in my opinion, because you have to do so much with so little detail. So, yeah, practice more, and I hope my little tutorial helps you out. See you!
Thank you for watching. For details, visit www.designyourcareers.org or send an email to info@designyourcareers.org. Subscribe to our channel, Design Your Careers, and hit the bell icon so you'll never miss a video.